Today on Voltron History, we're taking a look at Princess Allura and all her different incarnations.
Voltron was needed once more. This is the story of the super force of space explorers. Specially trained and sent by the Alliance to bring back Voltron, Defender of the Universe.
Voltron, Defenders of the Universe.
In Beast King Go Lion, she was known as Princess Fala, and was heir to the throne of planet Altea. This series had her born in 1983, and a year later her planet was invaded by the Galra Empire, which then executed her father, King Raymond, as well as her mother and her older siblings. On her 16th birthday, she ends up meeting 5 escaped Galra slaves, who eventually become the Go Lion pilots and bring back the Beast King. Upon Shirogaine's death, she takes over for him as the pilot of the Blue Line, and eventually becomes the leader of the Leo Alliance. The Leo Alliance was actually an alliance of 7 main planets and 35 smaller planets, 42 in all, which joined together to combat the Galra Empire. The 7 main planets in the alliance were Altea, Earth, Amazon, Jara, Heracles, Sand Planet, and Mura. In the series, Fala eventually pilots 3 different lions: Red Lion, Blue Lion, and Black Lion. In Voltron Defender of the Universe, she is Princess Allura of planet Eris, the last surviving member of the royal family. As a child, Allura's parents were always away on state business, leaving her alone in the castle, with only Karan and Nanny to watch over her. It was during one of these times when she met the space mice and took them as her friends. Sometime before the start of the series, her parents were killed, and buried in the tomb with her father were the keys to all 5 Voltron lions. Eventually, the space mice find their way into King Alfor's tomb and remove the key to the Black Lion because they felt it was pretty. Allura becomes the pilot of the Blue Lion after Sven is injured by Hagar. She is constantly attacked by Prince Lotor, who develops an obsessive crush on her. He frequently kidnaps her, or tries to, in order to make her his wife. In Voltron the Third Dimension, Allura is in her late 20s, early 30s. She possesses a lion's paw device, which allows her to actually communicate with each of the lions on a spiritual level. Unlike other versions, Defender of the Universe's Allura is weak at combat compared to the rest of her teammates, probably due to the fact that she wasn't trained in the arts of war since she was young. However, she makes up for it with her resourcefulness as well as her tenacity. In Voltron Force from Nicktoons, much of her history remains the same as it was developed in Defender of the Universe. She still pilots Blue Lion, and her Volcon weapon is that of a bow and arrow, as well as a whip. She is the mentor of her niece Larmina, who eventually takes over as the pilot of the Blue Lion, so that Allura can better govern over the people of Eris as a full-time queen rather than a part-time princess. In Voltron Legendary Defender, King Alfor chose to hide the Voltron lions and Allura rather than have Voltron form to battle their enemy, as Allura suggested 10,000 years ago during Zarkon's attack. Her father lulled her to sleep. She was placed in a sleeping pod where she spent the next 10 millennia in stasis. Allura is first seen in her sleeping pod when she is awakened by the future paladins of Voltron. She and Karan are the last surviving Alteans, and they reside within the Castle of Lions, which transforms into a starship. At first, she usually pilots the castle ship in battle, in order to provide aid to Voltron. However, after Shiro disappears and Keith takes over as Paladin of the Black Lion, Lance switches to Red Lion, and Allura becomes the Paladin of the Blue Lion. Allura is gifted with the latent abilities to manipulate magical energy. Lotor and Allura are shown to bear the marks of the Chosen, proving themselves worthy to enter Oriande. Allura is given the same secrets her father was, and now possesses the same knowledge Alfor used when creating Voltron. In this series, Allura's age is unknown, but is generally accepted as being around 19 years old, but could possibly be as old as 28. In Devil's Due Publishing's Voltron Defender of the Universe, Princess Allura is 19 years old, and is depicted as being a far stronger person than her 1980s series counterpart. It's in this series that it's revealed that both her mother and father were killed by Zarkon's own hand, and she was taken and raised by Karan. Years after her parents' death, and before meeting the Voltron Force, she renounced her title as princess until her people are liberated from Zarkon's tyrannical rule. She begins having visions while she sleeps of her father and 5 men who will come to Eris in search of Voltron. Due to Sven's brain defect, he's unable to combine his line with the others, and thus, Allura becomes the pilot of the Blue Line. Throughout each series, it's generally accepted that Keith and Allura have romantic feelings for each other. In Defender of the Universe, this is only hinted at. In Voltron Force, however, Keith eventually leaves the Voltron Force to rule Eris at Allura's side as king. In Legendary Defender, however, this relationship becomes incredibly complicated. The two begin as friends, but start to grow close until they discover that Keith's mother was Galra. Upon discovering this, Allura treats Keith with cold shoulder, and oftentimes with aggression, until she comes to terms with it, and the two once again become close friends, and eventually begin developing romantic feelings for each other. In Voltron Defender of the Universe and Beast King Go Line, Allura wears pink and white uniform while piloting the Blue Line. She's voiced by Rumiko Oke in Go Line and BJ Ward in Defender of the Universe and Third Dimension. In Third Dimension, Allura wears a metallic blue uniform with a lion helmet while piloting Blue Line. In Voltron Force, she wears a black and blue uniform with no helmet while piloting Blue Line and is voiced by Ashley Ball. In this series, when Blue Line takes center formation, Voltron wields the Titanic Trident with freezing capabilities. In Legendary Defender, she wears a pink, black, and white uniform while piloting Blue Line and a white and black uniform with pink and blue accents while piloting the castle ship. She's voiced by Kimberly Brooks. There you have it, guys, on this installment of Voltron History, Princess Allura. We've been receiving a huge response from our Voltron videos on the channel, and we'll continue them, as there's a lot of characters left to reveal the history of. So if you enjoyed this video and want more Voltron history, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single episode. So far, we've dove into the history of Pidge, Hunk, Lance, Sven, Shiro, and now Princess Allura. So you know what that means. Next time on Voltron History, I'll be diving into the history of Keith, so be sure to tune in then. I'm Shannon for Comicgeddon TV, the only place on YouTube where all geek culture collides. Let's go, Voltron Force.